This is the LiftaFlex, the 20,000 series. Comes in two versions. 20,300 is a 200-pound capacity lifter. The 20,500 is a 275-pound capacity lifter. This is our first lifter that in our lifter line where we have modularity. And when I talk about that is we can make the intermediate section wider or narrower. We've got longer, shorter legs. We've got taller, shorter mass. Things are very common as on the lifting go. You have your power pack here. You have your three-position brake system, locked, free. It's now directionally locked. You also have your two-button remote for your up and your down on your lift mast. And you also have the adjustable handlebar that moves up and down depending on the operator's height. What we have on here today is our 3-inch electric expando turn. And this is some tooling that we have a patent on that we've developed for picking up rolls, typically core vertical on a pallet, and then rotating the roll over to a core horizontal position for then taking the roll up and placing it onto a spindle that is at a certain location. The situation is then operated by a box that's on the back of the lifter here, and I'll demonstrate it here for you. There's one button for expand, and that's to expand on the core, and then as a safety factor we have a 2-button that you have to engage in order to disengage the expander when you push the roll off of the expander onto the spindle. And I'll show you that today and how this works. We're going to go over to this aluminum pallet stand and do a little demonstration for you. You come over to the pallet, you use your 2-button remote, and you run the lifter or the lifter down with the roll on it. Now you press 2 buttons, and you'll see there's a little red light will come on here to let you know that you've disengaged the lifter. The red light is here. Now you take your up button and you go up, and you can see the expander now. Here's the core expander. When you get to this point, we have a set of rollers out here. So when you actually do transfer the roll from the vertical to the horizontal and onto the spindle, the rollers will help you transfer the roll onto the spindle. So here's a packaging application. We're going to go over to the roll. We're going to load it onto a spindle.
Hey Don, can you expand it with nothing on the core?
We can expand it on the core.
So, there you go.
Now it's expanded. And again, the red light comes on. Now to disengage it, again, it's a 2-button system. And the red light will come on.
And that's all electric?
It's all electric. The only manual operation the operator has to do is transfer the roll from the vertical to the horizontal, or from the horizontal back to the vertical by using this black handle. The lifter, the expanded turn is balanced based on this rail system and what the width of the roll is. So that if the roll is very short, the expander is going to be back. If the roll is very long, the expander is going to be out there. So we pick up a 45-degree angle through the center line of the core. So when we pick the roll up vertically and rotate it to horizontal, we have a balance point that allows us to then rotate the roll back to the horizontal position. I'll now put it back in place, and I will demonstrate how to pick up the roll that's on the pallet. Take the lifter over, run it down, run the expander into the core of the roll. This is a 3-inch core again. You press 1 button and you will see the red light will come on here to let me know that it's engaged. I now have the roll. I can pick the roll up off the pallet. We suggest you move the roll away from the pallet, get it to a comfortable position, take the black handle and rotate the roll back to a horizontal position. Then again, it's a matter of just releasing 2 buttons here and pushing the roll from our expander onto the machine spindle.
Any questions? That's good.
Is there any reason to lock the handle in one position or the other so it cannot rotate?
What we do, Courtney, is we can provide what we call an index stop. And I can show you one. It's a stop that we put on this pillow block here that has a detent pin, so you can always be locked in horizontal, or you can always be locked in horizontal depending on what you need, or if you're traveling in a long distance or whatever.
This is your biggest seller, right?
The expanded turn is the biggest seller we have as far as our roll handling, for handling, in packaging, pharmaceutical, food, medical, some medical, but it's probably the biggest.
The people we call on actually, this is our biggest potential.
On the rear of the 20,000 series, again, we have the 3-position brake system, locked. Now it's free, north, south, east, and west. But one of the nice features is the directional lock, where the brake rod is all the way to the back, and now the back wheel's directionally locked. So you can now see that the lifter can now travel down a straight line without having it kind of zigzag all over that. If you have narrow aisles, that will certainly help you. Two other points to make here. We have what we call our aluminum pallet stand, and we can build these to any width, length, and any height that we need to accommodate your wooden pallet. What you do is you put your wooden pallet on top of this aluminum pallet stand and use this as an in-process pallet. This allows us to get the rolls up off the floor, allows us to get our lifter legs underneath the pallet to pick the roll up all the way around the pallet, so we're now going around 360 degrees. But the biggest key is that we're now allowed to keep the lifter a standard width instead of making the lifter very wide to try and straddle the wooden pallet.
Question.